I'm back in the brew room, which means you're here with me back in the brew room, or you just left your computer on autoplay. Either way, thanks for the view. Today we're talking about mash tuns. This is my mash tun. It does alright. I should keep better care of it, but here it is. The sake of the video, we're just going to talk about its features. You need a mash tun if you want all grain brew, or even partial grain brewing. The idea is, the function of the mash tun is where you put your grain after it's been crushed or milled and you steep it in water. In this, enzymes will break down the starches into sugars, which is a complex chemical process that I still don't quite understand, but I know how to take advantage of it. It's really simple. You just put grain in hot water. It can't get much more simple than that. So, the idea is, you have a vessel called a mash tun. This is mine. And you steep your grain in it. Now there's several different features that different mash tuns can have. Mine is just a passive cooler type. I have a 5-day cooler, so it's very well insulated. The lid seals pretty well, and that keeps oxygen out, which is good for your wort. Other things that I might like to have are a recirculation pump. So maybe I should start at the beginning. The idea is you have a false bottom. These are screens. They let liquid through but stop the husks of the grain. There's still some dried on there. Anyway, once the grain has been steeped and the enzymes break down all or most of the starches, you have a sugary water called mash or wort. Pretty much it's called wort as soon as it comes out of the mash tun. So mine has a screen to catch them and tubing with a valve to extract it. So that's called a false bottom. There are all kinds of different styles that you can have. Igloo coolers that are cylindrical and upright. You can buy modified ones, modified cooler type from your local homebrew store most likely, or if not, an online supplier probably has pre-made ones. The other type you can have is a heater type. They have some sort of coil element or burner underneath them to keep a temperature. This is easy for me. It doesn't use electricity, which is expensive where I live. And it kind of gives me the convenience. So back to the upgrade. I'm going to upgrade this at one point in time by putting a pump on the outlet to recirculate the water, the hot water, over the grain bed in a continuous circle. So I'll put some sort of sparge arm through the lid or something. I'm not quite sure what the design is going to be, and have it teed off so one side stretches out here, the other side stretches out there, and slowly but surely recirculates the water within the mash to improve efficiency. You want to be stirring your mash, if anything. I have a mash rake up here. Doesn't matter what you use, as long as you do it without burning yourself, unless you're into that. So, mash tun, essential for all grain brewing. If you're going to do extract brewing, you don't need this or that. That's the water tank, or the hot liquor tank, as it's called. So, the idea is to heat the water from there, put it in your mash there, and mashing only takes about an hour or so. You can have all kinds of different mashes. Back in the day, they didn't have accurate thermometers, so they take a percentage of the mash and boil it, and that would give them a controlled way of increasing the temperature within the mash tun. Now, I like to mash around somewhere between 150 Fahrenheit to 165 Fahrenheit. You're going to lose a lot of heat off of your liquor tank as the hot water is exposed to the air, that sort of thing. So it's a good idea to put your strike water, your batch water, up a little bit hotter than what you want to mash at, so that you got time to make sure that all your grain is submerged and you have time to get it all mixed up and shut the lid and all that good stuff. So the better you want your mash to be fairly soupy. You don't want it to be like mud. You want it to be enough water in there so that the sugars can dissolve into the water. Otherwise, you're going to run into efficiency problems and you're going to have like 3% beer, depending on what you're brewing. So that's not always the best idea. Anyway, if you're not into all grain brewing, you just need a kettle. You can just put your extracts in there, dilute it to what you like, boil it, put your hops in. It might be a place to start for some people. Either that or the kits. The kits are essentially extract brewing, except for some of them already have hops built into them. I'm not quite sure. I haven't done a kit in a long, long time. But that's pretty much the idea of mash tuns. I'll make a video. I might brew tomorrow, and I'll go through the motions of brewing all grain on my mash tun. I think I already have a video up called mashing, which will give you the idea. I got a grain mill here, and I put grain in there. It's mounted on a piece of steel which grinds or mills the grain, or even crushes maybe the grain directly into here, while I put my hot water from there into there. Obviously that's not on its end, it's on its butt or base or whatever. And I'm gonna get a new table stand thing for my mash tun. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.